So it's been a wee while, so I'll do my best to recap what has happened previously. There is also, for the purpose of keeping up to date with what Kramer and Alexei are up to at the moment, there is the Jamboard.
Oh yes.
I have laid out as many plot points as I think you two have discovered. Stuff in blue are people, yellows are facts you know about, and greens are leads you may not have fully followed up yet. I thought of doing one for Gregor, but Gregor has a very simple objective at the moment.
Yeah.
He is a straightforward man with straightforward tastes.
Respectable.
So, previously, Alexei and Kramer had finally met up together, and along with Agent Torin, investigated the strange disturbances happening at the bottom of one of the residential towers in the city, and discovered amongst the mutilated remains the soul of Anna Petrovich, amongst many myriad other political casualties of this regime who had been dismembered and crammed into the septic tank inside this building. Being able to put them relatively to peace, was able to release the spirit's hold from this building and cleanse it. But it has also raised significantly more questions than either of them were prepared to deal with. Especially poor Torin, who has had a bit of an episode and maybe needs to sit down and a pat on the shoulder. But you have both been left with the at least understanding that there is some kind of society, group, movement using these red scraps of material as a way of identifying one another. You know several people who are a part of it, and many more have been confirmed to have been killed. You also know that Stalin is dead and has been for some time, yet the rest of the city remains unaware of this. Elsewhere, Gregor, having broken out of jail, run naked across the rooftops, got into a fight with his best friend, who turned into a bear and beat him up, was then shipped in a airtight coffin to Site B, one of the clandestine locations within the secret city itself, where Afanas, a exterior bureaucratic official, gave him we won't call it an ultimatum, we extended an offer. Work for him and secure a comfortable and luxurious existence in the hands of the Americans, rather than the brutal torture and experimentation he would suffer at the hands of the Russian regime. All he asks in return is that Gregor hunt down one Dr. Kramer and bring him to him as a bargaining chip. After all, I'm sure the Americans would love to get their hands on a open air quotes defector, close air quotes.
That's me.
And we ended with Gregor violently dismembering and eating a 16-year-old. Because he was hungry. He was big hungry and he have munch. God, there's something so bad about using that kind of terminology to describe some kind of horrifying Lovecraftian thing. Just cultist points at Shoggoth and go, he hungry.
He hungry.
He want chicken nugget.
Points at a deep one. He horny.
Ooh woo. Except it's like 50 U's.
Yeah.
Oh God. And we'll just go back to Gregor. A brief window of time has passed. I'm assuming it didn't probably take Gregor a huge amount of time to just horribly, messily ingest this person.
Oh yeah.
And yes, all your conditions have been cleared. You are absolutely back to normal. Did you? I would ask a question here. Did you take your time, or was this more of a ravenous, messy, just?
What I said. I did answer this last time, but I can't
think
remember
you
what I
did.
said.
I do remember you posted pictures of Doom 2016, so I'm assuming some
Yeah.
ripping and tearing was happening.
Yeah. Let's just go with that.
Okay, so the only thing they fear is you stops playing from beyond the other side of the door. And after a couple of moments, there's a rapping on the other side of the door from where you're standing. The voice of Inessa, the secretary who led you to this cell, she genteelly raps on the door and then calls through. Are you decent?
I'd say so, yeah.
Yeah, the door is unlocked and opened. So I'm assuming it's pretty fucking horrifying in there.
Oh yeah, just blood covering the walls.
Any of it on you?
Mm,
Because almost
I
like the
wanna
idea of
say-
like perfectly clean, but the rest of the room is just covered in blood.
I want to say my like monster form got covered in blood, but
It all got slurped
the
back in.
human, yeah, the human form of me is perfectly fine.
Yeah, in which case, yeah, you just see her expression just pale as she looks over your shoulder and then takes in the rest of the room. The guard who had been looking after the door just casually looks over his shoulder and then just starts running down the corridor gagging.
Nice.
If you would like to come with me, we have some relevant information that would help you in your location of Dr. Kramer. We have,
Okay, sure.
and yeah, she starts leading you. Back towards the main hallway and then up a fairly large spiral staircase. As you proceed, it starts to become apparent that you are several floors underground. Like, you are sub-basement 7, then 6, then 5. Each floor you go up, you see various different kind of groups of people guarding the doors, or people in lab coats, wandering back and forth, checking equipment. All of it is pretty Spartan and pretty drab-looking, just paperwork and old, like, heavy-duty old kind of spool-tape computing machines. No one seems to pay any of you much mind. You pretty comfortably blend into this place. Yuri, the NKVD officer who is still wearing his austere-looking uniform, is now carrying a small clipboard of which there are a couple of pieces of paperwork and a keyring which is also kind of just clasped under the hinge. We have several bugs and other pieces of surveillance equipment at Dr. Kramer's residence and also at his laboratory. Currently he is at neither location. He unclips the keys and extends them to you. These will allow you access to his main apartment as well as access to his laboratory. If anyone is to ask, you are simply here as an extension of the NKVD's presence. He unclips the paperwork and you can see that there is a fairly fresh-looking... it's a fairly freshly printed-looking document with your photograph clipped to one corner. And a very brief scan confirms that you have been listed as an asset of the NKVD and should be extended every courtesy by local police enforcement.
Ooh, interesting.
Now, please understand that while we understand your needs and your willingness to fulfill them, we would prefer it if you were to accomplish this with minimal collateral damage. Naturally, if someone is attempting to stop you, then use your own personal judgment, but we would appreciate it if Dr. Kramer was brought in alive and intact.
Okay, understood. I'll see what I can do. No promises, though.
Well, promise or no, your freedom and your enjoyment of said freedom is all contingent on whether or not you are able to satisfy Mr. Afanasi's request.
Okay, one promise.
Pinky swear?
Yeah. Instead of a pinky, it's just a little tentacle.
Just itty bitty tentacle swear.
Yeah.
Sadly, I don't think pinky swears have been invented in the 1950s. Much to society's loss. He hands over one last piece of paper. This is Dr. Kramer's assistant, Svetlana. Smart girl, knows how to keep her mouth shut. You should be able to get a lot of information out of her just by flexing your credentials. I do not foresee you needing any degree of violence. Nonetheless, if She is at a risk to the completion of the mission. We are willing to accept her loss.
Yeah. I have no plans on eliminating her just yet, but we'll see.
He kind of get to like sub-basement 2, and Yuri just stops, and his compatriot stops alongside him a couple of steps later. Mr. Kosmolov, Dr. Kosmolov, I understand that you are taking this whole situation very lightly. Please understand, my colleagues and I have become extremely well versed in the tracking and capturing of creatures significantly more dangerous than you. If you decide to play fast and loose with this arrangement, please understand we will not hesitate to end you.
Okay, you have my word.
Very well. You're escorted up the last couple of flights of stairs up to the main ground floor, at which point it opens up into a much nicer looking atrium as you discover you're actually in one of the more kind of palatial government buildings inside the city. There are numerous people queuing up to hand in paperwork or make requests, and again the crowd is significantly crowded enough that just 3 more people, most of which look like they're supposed to be here, just blend into the scenery entirely. And without much fanfare, they escort you to the main doors, wave you through, and watch as you walk out into the street. In the time that's passed, the city has begun to warm up. The sun is a little higher in the sky than it was last night. The warmth in the air is a little more cloying, sinking into the concrete and breaking the very last parts of frost that have clung to the furthest recesses of the bas-reliefs and all the architecture which is scattered around this city. There's a smell on the air. It's light but pervasive, and it takes a moment for you to place it. Burning gasoline. And
Okay.
on the wind, you are able to locate it slightly, and as you turn your head, you see a plume of black smoke coming from one of the military barracks.
Well, I've got some time to actually locate Kramer, so let's go investigate that.
No worries. We'll switch over to Kramer and Alexei for a second. Our favourite paranormal buddy cop duo. So I believe we'd pretty much ended on the 3 of you leaving the building
Yes, I think that was correct.
and kind of resolving to try and figure out what the fuck is going on. And we are a little bit further back in time at this point.
Mm-hmm.
We're still kind of that night, whereas we've just left Gregor early in the morning. So the 2 of you, with everything you've seen and everything you've just gone through, with the information you've shared with each other, you have a rough idea that something is happening in this city. That there is some conspiracy or some kind of fermentation of a political movement. Something is forming in real time around you, and people are dying in the process. With all the information you have to hand, with the little conspiracy board I've put together here, which of these leads do you think is worth following right now?
So as much as Site B sounds interesting, I feel like that's going to be very much a close to the last thing we have to do. Yeah, because it's such a highly guarded site, and there's going to be a lot of difficulty getting into that. Even if we do, use bureaucratic means to get in there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there was an address found in her bag.
Was that the Site B address?
No, so that was just a scrap of paper with a written down address in the same pocket that the red rag was in.
Ah.
Yeah, It occurs that
If I
she
found
probably
an
wouldn't
address, I
need
found
to
an
remember
address.
an address to the place she works.
Yes. Okay.
Indeed, there's that and a jury-rigged radio receiver.
I feel like here's the other thing. Some of these things will begin to overlap or loop around, no, overlap is probably the best phrase for it. As we get closer to things, I'm still very curious about the spirits we saw, or at least I saw.
Right. I'm gonna let you take lead on this
But-
one. What do you?
I think that we follow the address that we found in Anna Petrov's bag, Petrovich's bag. I think the spiritual threats are one thing, but the more immediate threat of a government regime doing something shady is, I think, a little more pressing than the nebulous affairs of elemental spirits.
That is true. We could always take care of those later. And what about the jury-rigged radio receiver?
So everything yellow is just facts you know. It's
Yeah.
the stuff in green that is the stuff that you would really need to follow up on.
All right. Well, then, yeah. Then I also vote to go to the address found in her bag.
Yeah. Have you played L.A. Noire?
Yes.
Yes.
Like, you know that little musical sting that happens when you've found all the clues?
Yeah.
That's what the yellow ones are. That's kind of, you've got everything you need from this and you've found other stuff to work on.
Okay.
So you're following that address found in the bag. And are you going straight away now in the small hours of the morning, or are you going to wait and get some rest?
I say we get some rest. We've had a pretty traumatic experience, and this will give us time to do a little bit of research before we charge in, guns blazing.
We'll also
Right.
probably have hella terrible nightmares. But you know what? Fuck it. Yeah. Let's get some rest.
That's nothing new to Alexi.
And are you heading back to your own apartments? Are you crashing with Elga?
Yeah, I'm heading. Alga's had enough of us. We're-
I mean, there is my apartment. You know, not knowing about what's going on. You know, with Gregor, obviously, it could make sense beforehand, but
Are you inviting Alexia back to your apartment?
I'm inviting
Eyebrow
everyone back
wiggles.
to my apartment.
okay. If it's closer than my apartment, then yeah, just a place to sleep.
Mhm.
But Lexi maybe wants to like get a change of clothes or something.
All right.
Actually, you know what? Yeah. After spending time in the sewers with foul rot monsters, it may be wise to get a change of clothes.
all right. Well, in that case, then maybe all of us should head over with you then,
Okay.
minus the shower part, unless you want to. But you know, just because security reasons, and you don't know who you can trust, and the higher powers that be do know my address.
Before you
we've
two
been
head
through enough
off,
together that. Go ahead.
before you two head off, Torrin is still with you, and he had said just before we ended the last session that he felt like he had to call this in. But now you've kind of got to the surface, he's kind of stuffed his hands under his armpits, and you could, without even need to make a roll, you can tell he's clearly in some level of confusion and distress.
Okay.
Okay. Well, what would we do about that? I mean, we could let him call it in, but who's to say someone won't tip off someone else? Unless, like, who would he be calling into per se?
Well, that's the thing. He is technically like a very senior member of the local police force, yet he was told categorically to drop the investigation on these missing people. And now finding them could cause him a lot more problems.
Drop an anonymous tip? I don't know.
That's
What
cool.
do you
I mean,
think,
like,
Nathan?
again, you can leave him to his own devices if you want, but if you want to kind of steady
Yeah,
him and give him a guidance, then
Maybe we should step in and give guidance there. Because
he's
I don't know.
you find him kind of just mumbling to himself, just. Well, look, just because it is strange does not mean it is not real. You can see their faces. It was them. It was all of them. But how does something like that even happen? Who's going to believe me? Oh,
Oh,
Alexei,
yeah, Kramer, you go
Kleiner.
first.
You okay? I did not even check to see if you were hurt.
We are well. I am well, Comrade Turin. Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you?
What's up?
I was gonna ask him. Do you still intend to make a report about this?
I mean, even if I do, who will believe it? Even if I take them down there and show them the bodies, I mean, I was told to drop this investigation. Someone wanted these people to just disappear. What's it going to look like if I just show up with, oh look, here are all these bodies you didn't want people to find? It's a very good way to get my head fucking punched through with a hole.
Is
Well-
there a local militia or what do you call it? Volunteer force that you could tell? Perhaps a union that is outside of the bureau's payroll.
Well, I'll be real with
He
you,
just kind of
Alexei.
he laughs as if you suggested that he train some dogs to carry the bodies out of there.
Yeah.
Comrade, do you know where we are?
Yeah. I was
We
gonna
are in
say,
one of the most heavily monitored cities in the entire Soviet Union. If you think they do not have informants at every step, at every corner, then you are clearly misunderstanding the gravity of this situation.
Of course, that is true enough.
Yeah, Alexei. I mean, that's an interesting idea, but at the same time, I don't think any militia would be allowed to operate here. Period. You know, considering it's a Soviet stronghold.
I just want to help. Okay, I don't know.
No,
much.
I know. It's okay. It's
I'm
all
just
right.
I'm
You're
just
good.
an apparatchik. I know I can do strange things, but I am just a man.
Yeah, you and me both. Maybe. I say for now, maybe we just collect all the evidence we have, hide it, and then maybe call in a tip. Maybe pretend to be a homeless guy. I don't know.
What the fuck, man?
I mean, you're like the one homeless person who could be blamed for a room full of dead bodies and it not be surprising to you.
It's not.
Yeah.
This is not wrong. I'd like to imagine that if he got accused of that, he'd be like, "Did I do that?"
I can't remember what I did last Thursday. Could have been me.
Exactly. We could do that, but I wouldn't maybe suggest calling it in just yet.
Look, I can close the door, I can seal it off. Hopefully no one will notice the smell for a couple of days at least.
Do you have officers you can trust?
Only when I look in the mirror.
Fair enough.
Look, maybe I get some, I don't know, some lime or something. I come down here, either I leave it or I try and dispose of it. Either way, it's going to cause more problems. Look, you two have other things to be doing, and whatever happens, I will keep your names out of it.
Thank you. I appreciate that truly.
Well,
I appreciate that too, but are you gonna be all right?
I will go home, smoke some cigarettes, drink some vodka, and try to sleep.
All right. Just,
Normal Friday night.
Just keep in touch, yeah.
He kind of reaches out and claps you on the shoulder with a hand. Kramer, I appreciate that. You too, okay?
Yes, sir.
And Comrade Alexei,
Yes, Comrade Doran.
for an apparatchik, I feel like your talents are wasted here.
I just want a quiet life. That's all I've ever wanted. Doran,
Yes.
does not get easier. Strange things. I have had a lifetime to deal with them. But it never gets easy. So steel yourself. As best you can.
Well, if that is the case, he looks at it, kind of going back in the holster in his jacket. I'm probably going to need a bigger gun.
Alexei gives a amused chuckle at that. And,
And yeah, he'll wave as you guys make your exit.
must be done, yeah.
Nice. If God can find us in here, why not?
He leans over to Kramer after he's out of earshot. I don't think there is a god.
Yeah, we're so fucked.
Wait, are you an atheist shaman?
No. He doesn't believe in like the Judeo-Christian God.
Oh, okay.
Like,
It's like
he believes in the supernatural and some kind of like vague world spirit, but he does not believe in the authoritarian Judeo-Christian God.
okay, fair enough. Just for a hot second, I was like, hang on a second. Weird flex, but okay. And yeah, you return to individual homes, or are you both heading to one place?
Maybe for now it's best just to head over to Alexei's. I'll sleep on his couch, I guess. I don't exactly
Yeah,
trust my place the best.
having seen some magic stuff, Alexei trusts Kramer enough to let him stay. Excuse the mess, Alexei says. What was I going to say? What is this apartment going to be like? I feel like his apartment. There's a clear divide. There's a sort of little workspace he has, a writing desk that is neat and clean and well organized, and then everything else is just a disaster. Like he's got old newspapers stacked high, books spilling off of his shelf, and he hasn't made his bed in clearly a long time. And that's the best I can do.
All right, I'll work with it.
Cool.
I've seen worse.
And yeah, you two can get a relatively restful night's sleep.
Hell yeah, sounds good. Like I said, I've seen worse. You ever go to college dorms?
I went to. Oh no, is he university educated? Would he have to be in order to be an apparatchik, or?
To be a basic apparatchik, you would probably only need like secondary school, like high school level education. But if you were like a specialist, you would probably go to one of the universities.
You know what? We'll worry about that later. I'm not certain. I feel. You know what? No, I'm going to say Alexei did not go to post-secondary, or if he did, he got out of it pretty quick, or he got some minor degree.
Okay. And I was going to say,
I'd have to think of something appropriate.
If any of you have minor conditions, you can get rid of those.
Hey,
Let me check. I have revolted, and now I don't.
I have a moderate condition still. I got a black eye still. So.
In which case, yeah, remove that as a moderate and just have headache as a minor condition instead.
Okay.
Most of the swelling's gone down, it's just tender and your head is throbbing slightly.
Gotcha. Oh, there is one thing that Alexei would make a special effort to hide from Kramer, which is homosexual erotica.
Quick, hide the porn!
Yeah.
I mean, Okay, not my business.
Hey man,
All
he's
right.
he's both American and from Milwaukee. He's probably okay with it.
Alexei doesn't know that. Alexei assumes no one is okay with it.
Oh, yeah.
So be it, Rush.
I was gonna say, wasn't like gay marriage and everything like homosexuality was like legal for a while? Then Stalin fucking ruined it.
I genuinely don't know.
I think it was actually okay in the Soviet Union early on. I'm actually going to check this now because I'm pretty certain. Yeah, I was going to say some communist parties were like some of the first to actually support LGBT rights, while others actively persecuted it.
Yes.
It was
well,
very
we
much
know
a.
which one's won. Anyways. Well, I guess that's good. Maybe he's got one of their old election what do you call it? Flyers or pamphlets or something. So it just says respect homosexual and I don't know what the terms would have been in the 1950s. Queer rights on the bottom of it or something. It's got that tucked away. Every now and again he picks it up and looks at it and thinks about what could have been.
Oh, this sweet child. I wish to pat him on the head, but unfortunately nowhere else in the world would be any better. Anyway. So yeah, night rolls by, and it is surprisingly peaceful. In fact, the exertion and mental strain of the day has just allowed you to sink into just a deep and restful unconsciousness. Your brains aren't really even wired to inflict any kind of level of nightmare upon you. You're just so dog-tired. Even the couch isn't necessarily a hardship. You just hit the pillow and...
Last night after 2 tequila sorry.
1 tequila, 2 tequila, 3 tequila, floor.
Floor. Sorry.
We roll round to the morning. Alexei,
Yes.
it's a work day.
Oh shoot.
Do you want to give me a roll with real?
Yeah, let's do that. See whether I...
So,
exclamation point
Excellent.
space roll?
no, exclamation mark, roll, all one word, then space,
Roll.
2d6, space,
2D.
-1. And let's... Actually, what's your real now?
My reel is still... -1.
Okay, so it'll be 2d6 -1. Oof.
Woof.
I mean, mark experience. And unfortunately, Kramer, you're probably not waking up before Alexei is.
I was gonna say, can I roll for this too?
Yes, but if you fail, this will be worse.
Oh boy. All right. Well, what am I reeling? Plus real?
Yeah, so 2d6 plus real.
Okay. 2d6. So I gotta do +0.
Mm-hmm.
I have a bad feeling about this. Hell yeah. Fuck! Oh shit.
Well, mark experience as well, I guess.
Well, I tried.
As Alexei, you awake to the refreshing breeze of 11 a.m., having just
Oh,
remembered you didn't fix your alarm clock when it self-destructed last time. And then you just roll over and look at the partially disassembled clock laying flat on your bedside table. Oh, fuck.
Russian curse word.
In fact, there is a few moments of just allowing this to sink in before there is the sharp trill of your phone ringing in the living room. which
he runs
which
over-
wakes up Kramer immediately as this thing is right by your head.
Ugh. He runs in and picks it up. Hello?
Oh, there you are. I thought you were fucking dead.
No, I just. I'll be there. I'll be there soon. Sorry, I have.
I don't want to hear excuses. I want to hear you in person explaining to me how you're going to finish your caseload before the end of today.
I will. I'll be right there. And he hangs up, and he rushes through his morning schedule. He does not bother making coffee or anything. He just grabs a piece of bread, wolfs it down, says, Kramer, we will talk later. I have to go to work. Yes, Saburov. I don't know how I'm going to explain any of this. I'll see you later. If you get a chance, do some research on the address. I'll see you later. Bye.
Oh,
Slam.
okay.
Oh, and lock the door when you go.
All right. That sounds good, I guess. Shit. Could have just told him that he overslept, but. Alright.
I feel like Kramer has a far more relaxed understanding with the officials around here than Alexei does.
That's mainly because, for the most part, I don't like the Soviets except like a few people.
He like rolls out of bed at 11:30, like, what? You know anyone else who can translate Mesopotamian runes? No? Then I get up when I fucking want.
Pretty much. I guess. You know what? Since he left, I think now's a good time for me to pop some Coke and maybe get a coffee or something.
Why not just sprinkle it around the rim of your coffee cup?
Yeah.
You know what? That's not a bad idea. I think I will. do
Dear
that.
God. Someone just sees Kramer drinking it and goes, "Oh, a latte."
No, don't touch it. Mine. Fuck off. My fucking latte, you little shit.
Man, do you know what they say? Don't talk to me until I've had my coffee, am I right? Just gets fucking punched in the leg.
Hell yeah. And then after that, I guess, probably for the best if I leave. Maybe I'll go over to the library and, I don't know, look at some records, maybe see if I can find anything with the addresses and shit.
That's fair enough. You can do that. On the interim, just as Alexei is kind of leaving and making his way down to the bureau. This early in the morning, there is a lot of the standard commute going on. Lots of people are, coming back from night shifts, not necessarily arriving at shifts. Those people have woken up on time. Mm-hmm. But similar to what I described with Gregor, there is this permeating heat starting to radiate throughout the city. It's almost as if it's just a little too warm for your coat. You feel like you just have to unbutton a couple of spots on your collar just to let the little air flow through. Otherwise, you'll come through in one of those clammy, cool sweats.
Sounds like global warming.
And as you're making your way down the street, you hear the telltale siren of a fire engine, a fire truck in this case, rattling down the street, narrowly avoiding someone who was crossing the road. And as you turn your head to follow it, as it turns around a corner, you do see a plume of smoke coming from one of the military locations in the city. That's probably not good.
Oh, dear.
Probably not.
But that's not my job.
Does he loudly declare that's not my job to just
No.
people nearby him?
Certainly. I mean, that would be funny. No, not my job.
You know what? That'll be my job. I'll check that out. Why not?
Yeah,
Before I go to the library, I'll fucking check it out.
That definitely is above Alexei's pay grade. So, as curious as he is to what's going on, because now he is engaging with the city on a new, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? A new footing, I guess, where a mystery lurks around every corner, and there are eyes everywhere.
No, I think eyes everywhere is
intrigued.
Gregor's thing.
But the important point is that he does not make an effort to chase that. He just kind of files it away in his brain for something maybe he can look at later. But right now, his regular life is in danger.
And yeah, it doesn't take you tremendously long, even from your apartment to head down to the bureau. And upon your arrival, it becomes immediately clear precisely why Sobolov is in such a fucking foul mood. At least you're here.
Oh.
Several of the cubicles are empty. A few of the people who are working there have massive stacks of paperwork that seem to have been taken from other desks and just lumped into their in-tray. Sobolov himself is not even out where he would normally be if he was pissed off, like storming back and forth between cubicles. He's in his office, also processing a fairly large stack of paperwork while chain smoking.
Okay.
He sees you as you comes in. He sees you as you kind of enter the room, and immediately frantically starts waving you over to come into the office.
All right, Alexei makes his way into the office. Sorry, Comrade Sobolov.
Volkov, I do not care. I do not care what it was. I don't care who you are fucking, who died. It does not matter. You have no idea how this morning has been. Half of my staff have simply not shown up at all. I have been calling apartments all fucking morning. You have not believed the amount of requisition forms that have just come in. This visitor from fucking Red Square, he has decided to just move half our stocks of supplies, most of the classified stuff that's been pushed through the fucking sites. Everything is being moved, and I have nobody to sign off on it.
I will get to work right away. I'm going to see. I'm going to make a roll for my bureaucracy. I'm going to see if I can find a way to help alleviate a lot of the paperwork and see if I can get Sobolov on my side. Maybe is there a way we can take half of these forms and maybe condense them down into a single form or something like that?
Yeah, if you want to do clerk foo, I won't say no.
Clerk foo, yeah, let's do that. that sounds like the best we can do. All right. +1. Hey,
not too bad. So you really have two options here. Either you sit down and you grind this all out, or you fudge some of the paperwork, like making references to forms that haven't technically been filled out yet, or filled. Basically, you can use your entire arse, and this will be an exhausting slog, or tactically use half your arse, and at least expedite the worst of it. It would definitely take a lot of pressure off Sobolov and you, and it would probably at least free up time to then go and do other things.
Do I think it will, or does Alexei think it will screw him over later if he half-asses it? Or is this the kind of thing he's experienced enough that he knows exactly where to do it so it won't get noticed? Or so that if anyone does check it back, they're like, it was just a minor clerical error or something like that?
It would mostly be checked up as a clerical error. Anything major, you would probably just have to go back and do again.
Okay.
But it wouldn't land anyone in specifically hot water.
Okay, then Alexei is more than happy to half-ass it a bit to get the paperwork done.
Groovy. And you lay this all out to Sobolov, who just takes it all in for a couple of moments, then just nods his head and goes, "Fuck it, it works. Get to it." And when you have everything put together, just get a messenger bag and take it to the hub yourself. I don't have any of my normal couriers at the moment.
Yes, sir. Thank you for this chance, sir. Thank you for that terminating me, sir. And
Shut the fuck up and get to work.
Yeah. And with that, Alexei's out. He's already moving.
Oh dear. And we'll pull back for the two of you for a second and go back to Gregor. Yes. The smoke.
Woo.
Uwu. Fucking Uwu. Just the fucking worst.
Can I, before going to the smokestack, maybe make a quick pit stop?
Absolutely.
Potentially knowing some information, mainly being that Kramer isn't there. There was Kramer's assistant lady, right?
There is,
as well.
yes.
I would like to maybe just go speak to her first before I go to the smokestack or whatever it is.
Okay, yeah, that's Svetlana. Yeah, the documentation you were given lists the laboratory he has as behind the museum. It's a fairly small location. It's not really an official laboratory, but it's got all the components he needs there, and it's discreet enough that you could go in and out without anyone really seeing you easily. Plus, you have the key.
Yes.
So yeah, you're just going to head straight over there then.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. The back of the museum is a fairly kind of drab-looking outbuilding that was kind of attached to the back of the building itself, like an extension. Like, the waterproofing is holding together and the windows are relatively intact, but it's clear this was not meant to be a permanent extension to the building itself. You head over and you can hear someone playing a harp quite badly coming from inside the building itself.
Okay, I'm going to go investigate that then in the hopes that it's Svetlana.
Yeah, no. Are you just going to open the door just normally? Are you going to knock? Are you going to sneak in?
I'm going to sort of knock, but also open it.
Oh,
And walk in.
so just kind of then click.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. Yeah, you let yourself in, and the interior of this building is exactly as just cluttered and messy as expect of some kind of coke-addled Milwaukeean professor. Things have been stacked in relatively neat piles, but it's still a pile. And in one relatively clean spot, you see a woman of kind of like her middling to late 20s who is sat on a stool with a rather nice-looking harp. And she is looking back and forth between the strings and over at a small sheaf of sheet music, which has been kind of clipped on one of those sheet music stands. She pauses for a second and goes, "Oh, Dr. I'm sorry, I do not believe we have met, Mr."
Yeah, I'm just going to introduce myself, show the appropriate paperwork, and just sort of say that Dr. Kramer may have gotten himself into some trouble, and I'm trying to locate his whereabouts. And any information you have on him, maybe his interests, would be, maybe what the last thing he could have been investigating was.
Okay.
Anything would help.
I'm gonna say, give me a roll with fake. Take +1 because you are using relevant documents to make yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, hot damn. Okay. Yeah, you flash your credentials, and she is able to take them in just quickly enough without really. You basically just lay it on so thick that she doesn't really have the wherewithal to kind of counter anything you're saying. And by the time you've laid it all out, she has kind of put both hands down just on her lap and is looking a little, not shaken, but definitely concerned. Dr. Kramer, I have not seen him for at least, day and a half. I picked up some documentation he was producing, something that man who come from the outside, something he wanted taken care of. Research into some musician, composer. I've been working and seeing if I can, reproduce. She taps the sheet music. It's a very challenging composition, but I can see the idea he was going for. Something lyrical, rhythmic, something that resonates with the spirit and the soul. But yeah, as far as that goes, he seemed distracted. I mean, I know that the doctor does have a substance problem, and I know that people turn a blind eye to it. But I do worry that it is severely impacting his work.
Interesting.
His apartment I have never seen it myself, but I understand that he is allowed to have a lot of contraband, a lot of American media and other things, jazz records, that kind of thing. So, he's not in serious trouble, I hope.
No, nothing. Just nothing too bad. I just would like to find out his location.
Well, to the best of my knowledge, if he is not at his apartment, then... I mean, I would hope he would be here working on the project, otherwise... I mean, he doesn't really socialize too much. He's very insular, keeps to himself. Even when he was at that Spelling Festival a couple of nights ago, he really just hung out with Agent Torin, and even then that was mostly just being a chaperone, not necessarily actually having fun.
Interesting. Okay, well, I feel like I've got enough information here. I sort of stand up, bid my farewells, and sort of say that as soon as I find him, I'll send him straight here.
One last thing, if you do not mind me asking.
Yeah, of course.
This trouble that Dr. Kramer is in, is it a girl?
Unfortunately, I can't say exactly what this trouble is, but no, it's not.
You almost see like just a faint but slightly guilty flush of relief across her face, and she perks up a little bit and then puts her hands back to the hub. I thank you. I thank you very much. Captain, Agent, I'm sorry I did not get a good look at your credentials. Are you going to introduce yourself as the name they've given you, or
The name they've given me, yeah.
which would be Grigory Kosmolov?
Yeah, then yeah. I guess, am I a doctor?
You are still a doctor. Like, this body has a doctorate.
Okay, yeah, I'll just introduce myself as Dr. Grigory Kosmolov.
Yeah. You say that, and her expression changes.
Oh no.
Dr. Kosmolov. The Dr. Kosmolov. No. Everyone said you were dead. There was the accident, and then everybody... No, did I hear you right? Kosmolov.
I just sort of try and brush it off as just a family name. There are many Kosmolovs.
Yeah, give me another roll with fake here. This time just a flat
just minus
one. Yeah.
Nope.
Well, the benefit of this is you have just another face. So a miss counts as a 7 to 9. So you don't mark experience, but you do get a partial success.
We take those.
Yeah, we take those around here. Yeah, you're able to kind of fumble a semi-excuse, and you do see Svetlana just... If she doesn't necessarily fully buy it, she knows better than to push the issue. That pushing these kind of issues can result in bad things happening.
It's good enough for me.
After a couple of seconds, she just closes her eyes, nods quickly in a kind of, okay, I get it, I won't say anything else, and waits for you expectantly to leave.
Okay, now I've got that information, I'm then going to head to the gasoline smell and the smoke and whatnot.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And yeah, you exit back out again, and walking down the little back alleyway that kind of crosses off from behind the museum. You're just kind of walking towards the main street where you can see a little bit of traffic and a little bit of foot traffic at this time of day already passing by. Another rattling as a fire truck zips by. Give me a... Give me a roll with real.
So +1.
Yes.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, you start walking. You start walking down the alleyway, and you are calm enough not to make it obvious, but you see someone come around the corner behind you, and see a figure just step out of sight from the alleyway in front of you.
Okay.
The footfalls
just
coming. The footfalls are
trying-
coming from behind you. They are audible but hushed, as if they are trying not to make too much noise.
Can I just kind of try and zigzag and...
I mean, you at this point have one way to exit out of this alley, which is directly ahead of you.
I'm going to walk that way then.
Yeah, you just walk forwards. And yeah, ahead of you, the alleyway opens out. And yeah, are you looking around to see what was going on, or are you just going to head off in the direction you were planning on in the first place?
I'm going to head off in the direction I was planning on, but... Alright, I'm going to try and, like, zigzag and...
So
Just
kind
in
of
case.
move evasively.
Yeah.
Okay, well, okay. I'm going to say give me a roll with fake. However, you have outdoorsman, and you have pragmatic, and because you've got the lay of the land on this, you take an extra +2. So roll with a total of
Plus one?
+2. Total +2. Well, you needed it. Oh, doggy. You are able to at least give these people a fairly good foot chase. You don't ever at any point break into a run, but while you are not able to avoid these people, you are at least able to ascertain that you are absolutely being followed. Not by professionals. These people do not necessarily seem to be numerous nor particularly well trained, mostly just rapidly turning away the minute you kind of try to catch them in a reflection. But they are focused enough and coordinated enough that they can trail you between multiple people as you make your way towards where the fire is.
Interesting. I suppose there's nothing more that I can do, but yeah, try and stay evasive and just eventually there'll be some kind of confrontation.
Yeah, I mean, you are able to make your way to one of the major barracks without too much confrontation. It's without too much issue at all. You just move until you are heading down one of the main drags where the barracks are located, and there is a pretty substantial fire ripping through these barracks. A few people are watching as like onlookers, but generally speaking, people have shit to do, and people on the days off are being hurried away by the police who have formed a cordon. A couple of fire trucks have just barreled their way through the chain link fence, not even waiting to have the clearance to go through the main gate, and are already hosing down the fire, which has already kind of swallowed one of the outbuildings and is rapidly spreading through some of the other barracks.
Shit. Can I use my credentials to kind of get through this gate and at least keep those assailants away from me?
Yeah, I'd say that's doable. I'd say you're going to want to give me a roll with real again. Oh no, sorry, a roll with fake even, so just give me a flat 2d6.
Okay.
Right. I'll give you an option here. Do you want to blow your cover? Or do you want the situation to get catastrophically worse?
I am.
Maybe not catastrophically, but significantly worse.
I mean, this cover is very important, and I'll be able to use it multiple times in the future. So, let it get worse.
Cool. Yeah. No. You start walking up towards where you can see like a man in a fire uniform and then another man in a military uniform who both appear to be just shouting at each other. Words seem to have stopped being a thing, and it now just seems to be in a direct war of volume. And just as you kind of bring yourself up towards them, raise your paperwork, and they both turn to face you, There is not even a register of sound, there is just force as all three of you are knocked to the ground. There's a couple of seconds of silence, and then air comes back into the world. Pieces of sheet metal, flaming, are plummeting from the sky. You are unhurt, but that is not the same to say for the people who are trying to put out that fire, as the ammo dump detonates.
Fuck.
There is the smell of blood and diesel and cordite in the air. There are screams coming from the fire itself. And as you are propping yourself up onto your elbows, the firefighter is already up on his feet and trying to make his way towards the fire, where you can see moving figures dragging themselves across the concrete. Those bystanders who had been trying to get an eyeful are now either running or are currently on the floor, wounded from flying shrapnel. This thing went off like a bomb.
Okay, I'm just going to try and blend in then, and maybe not put myself in immediate danger, but try and escort the people I can out of there.
Yeah, in fact, you have a quick scan around, and you can see there are several people that do seem to have just they are walking wounded. They are able to move under their own volition, but there are a couple of people who have either been knocked unconscious or are just so severely injured they do need someone to help them get out of the immediate danger. There is one ambulance here, and it is now severely overwhelmed by the amount of people who need medical triage. So are you going to try and lend those people a hand, or just drag someone off into an alleyway to do something unspeakable?
I'm going to be nice and try and give them a hand. Does this also line up with when Creamer should be getting here as well?
This is a valid point, actually. We will rewind just a few minutes. Creamer, you were heading over to the fire first, then you're going to go and be a nerd in a library.
Okay.
Yeah, you, well, I'm assuming you were? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely right. Wanted to check out the fire first, see what's going on.
Yeah, you head over, and this is obviously pre-Kabooie, pre-Baba Booey. You can see there is a fire that seems to have just started on some kind of fuel dump. You can see the kind of burnt-out husk of a gas tanker already just running down to its rims, the rubber melting off the tyres, as firefighters struggle to contain it and stop it spreading even further. Across the crowd, you feel like you... No, that couldn't have been him. You're pretty sure that guy's, in prison or some shit. You can't quite remember. What are you looking for here?
I guess I'm looking for any sign of foul play, maybe some clues left behind. I would mark this as a cover-up, maybe some evidence or something along those lines.
Okay, give me a roll with real.
Okay.
And let's have a look here. You know what? Nerves of steel, as you are trying to poke around a active fucking, fire.
Okay. Alright, that's +1, right?
Yes.
Alright, I will do that. Oh, yeah!
Oh, nice. Okay. You immediately snap into Sherlock Holmes detective vision, or whatever we're going with here. Instinct vision, you're Batman. And it occurs to you that looking at the fire is not going to achieve much. It's a fire. It will have obliterated any evidence. What you're looking for is the reason why the fire started. And as your eyes roll over the crowd, you actually see someone moving very quickly in another direction. They are short and scrawny in a kind of roughed up leather jacket. But the one thing that does catch your eye is the flash of red sticking out of one of their coat pockets. For a moment your eyes meet, and he drops a bottle on the floor, a rag still tucked into the throat of it.
Okay.
He freezes for just a couple of seconds, and then bolts down a side street.
In that case, then I kind of want to chase him?
Cool. That is an excellent move. You may absolutely do that. As you take off after this guy down the side street, just as there is and you feel the blast behind you. It rocks the buildings around you. You can feel shell tiles falling off nearby rooftops, glass is shattering in nearby windows. It takes a couple of seconds for your hearing to return, and when it does, you can hear the screaming behind you, but you are already committed to chasing this person down. You head around the corner, and the side street is narrow, badly lit. It seems like it was more just a gap between two series of tenement buildings, and this figure is just caught down the center of it, like straight down the barrel. All he has to run to is the other end of the street.
Okay.
I ask you, are you going to chase him down or go for something else?
I have an idea, sort of. Is it alright if maybe I were to use some sort of, I guess, warlock power to keep him in place?
Abso-fucking-lutely, you may.
Make him get hit by a box or something.
What do you think I was suggesting you do? Do some Doctor Strange bullshit. I want it.
Alright, and fuck it. And you know what? Then I'll do exactly that. I'm gonna use some magic warlock sorcery shit, and I'm gonna make a box fall down from somewhere and cripple his legs. Or her leg.
I mean, maybe not a box, because you're like in between two series of buildings, but like a chimney stack could... I was going to say like a chimney stack could fall off or something.
Sure, I can do that.
Alright, give me a roll with Strange, throw in Self-Taught Warlock.
So, +3. Or is it +2? Let me check.
It'll be +3. Your Strange is +2, then Warlock will add an extra 1.
Okay, and...
Oof. Yeah, just describe to me how you take this person down.
I don't necessarily... The only thing that pops into my head is when I see him running down this one area, I kind of just roll my eyes, break out the book really quick.
Give me a second here. Like, flick.
Yeah, yell something like some Latin shit that ends with Afeniaga, like that, and then I like snap or something, and then the entire chimney just crawls down, and then the only thing you hear is "ah fuck" really loudly.
Suka bliat my fucking legs. Thank you, Steve. Whee! Splash. Fucking
Kramer
Mac
casts
and
a
me.
spell and it turns him into a dummy.
Oh no! Amazing. Yeah, you're surprised there is a specific spell for throwing chimneys at people, but apparently it's there. Someone took the time to figure that one out. And yeah, there is just this crash of pottery and bone, and then the figure is just sprawled out on the floor, partially buried by fallen brick and shale, just screaming through gritted teeth. My fucking leg! Fucking what the hell?
Finally, I caught up to you. You're a real good runner. So
my fucking legs! How did you?
Nice. That's cool. Listen, so I noticed your exclusive club membership there, and you were setting something on fire. There's a couple people dead. I want to know why.
Fuck you. I will never talk.
You want to fuck me? I mean, maybe we can make room for that later, but for now, I need you to give me some answers.
You honestly think I'm going to talk to a fucking collaborator like you?
Well, you clearly wanted to fuck me to begin with, so there must be something there.
You see his hand just kind of crawling towards the inside of his jacket.
Can I just, like, I don't know, like, fucking crush his knee again or something?
You may absolutely give that a go. You'll need to roll with Fury, though.
And that would be a...
-1.
Ah, shit. Not bad. Not
okay.
Not bad at all.
Okay. So you react in time, but not in time enough. You see him pull the short end of a pistol out from his jacket, and while you do bring your foot down, it's not quick enough to stop him from just reflexively squeezing the trigger and a gunshot ringing out down the alleyway, the bullet snapping into brickwork further along. He is in such pain he can't even begin to bring the gun to bear on you, but it's still in his hand and he has made a bit of a commotion.
Well, in that case, I want to...
Fucking sadistic piece of shit!
Well, then, I want to yell at him really loudly to give me the answers that I want, or else I will do a lot worse. I mean, I have magic powers after all.
Are you just
That's
telling
what
him
you
you have
admit?
magic?
Yeah.
Don't fuck with me, I'm a warlock. I'm sorry, what?
Listen, I'll, like, burn you alive or throw you into another dimension or something. That's easily way worse.
So, just to be honest here, you're straight up threatening him with magical bullshit.
Yes.
I'm gonna
Or
need you...
A mixture of magical bullshit and physical pain.
Because can I just point out something to you?
Sure.
One of your powers is compelling voice.
Oh, yeah, then you know what, I'll go...
You can specifically tell him to give you the truth, yet you crippled and
yes, I
tortured
will
this
use-
man instead.
I didn't think about it. I'll use compelling voice then. That's what I want. I'll do that. Do I roll 2d6 plus 1?
Well, I was going to say, 2d6 plus 2, it's strange. 2d6 plus 3. Yes, okay.
Now give me the answers I want.
As far as compelling voice go, is he like fully sapient? Is he like fully lucid and just wants to tell you the truth now, or is it more of like a trance?
It's a mixture of... It's like getting hit with, like, quote-unquote truth serum in the movies, where you recognize that something, like, is happening, but you're unable to control yourself from revealing the truth.
It's kind of a pause as he just kind of blinks back, some tears from his eyes from the pain. All I am doing is performing the duties put out before me. The sisters have a plan for this city, and part of it is that the city must burn. That the men who defend it must be left blind and defenseless and impotent for when the change comes.
Okay, the sisters. Alright, who are they? Where are they? And who are these men that are defending the city?
She is life and she is death. She is light and she is dark. She is beauty and she is horror. You know them. You have met them. They know about
have
you. They told me to look out for you. Told me
Look
what
out
you
for
could do.
you. Oh, well. How's that working out for you, champ?
Not too well. My leg is broken, and you're stepping on my kneecap, which you'll know that hurts quite a lot. I have to be completely honest.
Well, then, you know what? Since you've been so nice, I'll remove my foot from your kneecap. But since you pulled out a gun on me, I want to know, where are they?
You want to meet with the sisters?
I might want to in the future.
I cannot guarantee they will not just kill you on the spot. They do not like
well-
collaborators.
Oh, collab. You know, I can't guarantee that I won't kill you on the spot. But I
You
could.
didn't.
Well, you know what? I will, if you want.
I
It
may,
could make the pain go away.
I may fear death, but I would willingly give my life for my beloved Ukraine. The land she calls to us, and we must answer.
Well, then tell you what. How about this? You tell me where they are. I'll maybe consider making a house call. And then maybe I'll use my magical whatever the fuck. And maybe I'll heal your legs a bit. You know? It does look like you're in quite a bit of pain.
If you insist. Although I must warn you. Khalil and Zanya, they are in no mood to be messed around.
Neither am I. You burned a place full of people. You
Merely,
did not see the shit that I've seen last night.
he kind of trails off for a second. What did you see?
Oh, please. You don't tell me you didn't know about the giant mass of dead bodies all fucking humped together and screeching about God knows what. It was a fucking monstrous being. Like some sort of... I don't know what the hell it was. But it was full of people like you with the red sash.
You see the expression on his face just condense, becomes more serious. Anna?
Anna?
You recall Anna Petrovich was was the person in the apartment.
How
Yes.
do you know her?
She's my sister.
Huh. Well, she's not going to be happy to hear that I crippled her brother. Well,
Dead. You were there when her face came out of the mass.
it's been a while. Well, sorry to tell you, pal, but she's passed on. I don't mean to say that sarcastically.
She...
Yeah.
How?
Sorry, pal. I don't know, but I figured that you were involved with this, considering you burned down a place full of people. You know,
He just takes a sharp breath in, and even with the pain, just kind of angrily lashes at you with his free hand. Like, how could you dare say I went out with my sister?
Well, I didn't know you were related to begin with. Shit, I figured burning building, someone with red sash. You know, I don't know. I figured the two connected. You know what I'm saying? My bad.
She is dead. Where is her body? We must bury her properly.
And we will in time. But right now, as you clearly know more than I do, there are forces at play that none of us can comprehend. Or maybe you can, but I can't. And if they know about the location of bodies, your sister ain't getting shit. So here's what I'll do. You did do me a favor, and I'll try to make it quick, but I'll heal your legs for you. Can I roll can I roll for that?
He will just, before you do anything, just close his eyes. You can see tears now rolling down his face in earnest. Cadiel works in a butcher's shop on Palm Street. 241.
Thank you for this information. I appreciate such kindness and generosity, and I'm sorry for your loss.
Do you know why? Why did she die?
Nope. I have no clue.
Sorry.
I don't know. Actually, you know what? I do want to ask one more question. Why burn down all the innocent people?
Innocent people.
I mean, there were a lot of screams that kind of made the conclusion that they were innocent.
We were here to burn down the ammo dump. If a few soldiers get caught in the mix, so much the better.
You know what? I will heal your legs, but I think me and you should have a talk with some comrades of ours. Maybe we'll all get the answers we seek. And no, I'm not going to promise you a torture. Just heal the one leg. I can't. I made a promise. I got to heal both.
Yeah, he just lies back. You can tell, like, part of like, even though his legs are broken, something internally has just snapped. And
Well,
you're gonna try and heal this dude's leg?
Yes.
Cool. Give me a roll with Strange and add in your self-taught Warlock.
That would be +3. Also, I think, yeah, my character sheet format's been all messed up, I think.
It's a little futsy, but it can be fixed.
Alright, radical.
Okay,
No.
okay. Do you want to fully heal one leg or half heal both legs?
I'm not gonna lie to you, this is kind of like the perfect outcome. I was kind of hoping he would be like sort of healed, but so I'm gonna go with both legs, but like slightly.
That's right. So like they can bear his weight, but they are still like knitting together. So putting pressure on them is pretty fucking excruciating.
He'll be walking with a limp for a while.
Yeah, yeah. He will have to move. He will have to walk with your help. But if you just sling an arm, if he slings an arm over your shoulder, he can move at like a walking pace.
That sounds good. In that case, then I'll pick him up after I heal him, and then I'll say, so we should probably get out of here before that gunshot calls to the attention of more people. And then I guess I'll have to bring him with me to the library or something.
No, that's fair enough. If that's where you want to take him, then sure.
Or maybe I should drop him off that. Actually, no, Alexei probably wouldn't even know I'm doing that, so he'd probably think that's weird. But yeah, I'll bring him to the library with me. It's called common decency, decorum, all that shit.
Okay.
I do like the idea, however, that you were fully ready to just drop this guy off at Alexei's apartment without his knowledge or consent.
My disregard for the Soviet principles are very American-like.
See, but that's just like disregard of common courtesy.
Yeah, like the American, like all Americans.
Damn, too real.
Yeah, how have you managed to put your name, disguise, and cover story in the fucking header games?
I don't know. All I know is I erased the minor condition, right? And then that's it. And then I look up after that. I just see whatever the fuck that is, and I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know how the hell that happened.
I have a question, by the way.
Yo.
Is there any chance that I happen to see any of this?
So that's what I was about to snap back to.
Right.
So, sorry, while I'm just quietly fixing Game Master's fucking character sheet. I'm not mad, I'm honestly kind of impressed. It's like eating an entire cheese wheel.
Again, I don't know how the hell it happened.
You messed that up real good.
Somehow. Yes.
So, back at the large explosion, Gregor was lending a hand. And you were helping out like the local paramedics. Is this correct?
Yeah.
Nice. If that is the case, and you want to be helping out, would you like to give me a... Okay, I'll ask you a fairly simple, straightforward thing. Are you going to be trying to... Are you going to try and use your powers to assist in any way with this, or are you just going to be brute forcing this in meat space?
Just no powers. I'm just gonna try and be helping out like a regular guy.
He's just a regular guy, covered in tentacles with thirst for blood.
Humans.
The other white meat.
They're great.
There we go. I fixed it. Please don't fuck with it again.
Hey man,
I love your games. It's cool. It's cool. Let's have a look here. So yeah, if you just want to give me... Yeah, I guess it probably would just be a straight reel with maybe Outdoorsman for like knowing basic first aid. Just knowing like if someone's got a shattered leg or they've got like a big bit of shrapnel stuck in their thigh, like don't pull that out.
Yeah. So that's a +2, right?
Yes.
Hmm.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Because a 9's going to be a bit of a partial here. Okay, do you want to commit to this and kind of let your guard drop a little? Or do you want to reserve yourself and still stay on your toes?
Stay on my toes.
Okay, you're able to move a couple of people, but it does. After a couple of trips to the paramedics, even they start to notice that you are really just moving people closer to them. You're not really doing a lot to stabilize anyone. And after maybe 10 minutes or so, one of the paramedics just kind of puts a hand on your shoulder and goes, "Sir, please, we can handle this. Just get to a safe distance, and if you have any injuries, please just go to your local clinic."
Okay, yeah, that's good to know.
And yeah, you can see like the fire has now basically begun to burn through in earnest. There are no other areas where it looks like it could cause severe damage, like the dump going off. But the barracks are absolutely ablaze at this point. Their fire is still contained, and new fire trucks have already pulled up on the scene and are just trying to set a perimeter and keep everything kind of cleared down.
I basically caused all this.
I mean, it only got worse because you decided to let random chance make something go bad.
Yeah.
I feel like you're not taking responsibility as much as you are taking credit. Just, I did this. Big smile.
I am quite happy about it.
Yeah,
Respectable. At least he's honest.
it smells delicious.
Barbecue.
Ah, diesel braised, my favourite. As, yeah, you kind of get yourself together, look around, and do catch sight of one of the guys with the red sashes just keeping a wary distance but still looking up, but still looking at you. And behind him, as you look up into the air, you see another fire. You see another smoke plume begin to come up on the horizon. Alexei,
Yes.
you have been slogging away desperately at this fucking mountain of paperwork, and you've been able to get most of it just squared away. Like, the worst of it will be maybe next month's your problem, but right now this is enough to just be bundled up, put in front of another slightly more higher ranking Appalachic, and they can deal with the rest of it.
Perfect.
And yeah, while everyone else is busying themselves, my brain is just Sobolov. Once you kind of notify Sobolov that you're ready, he just throws you an attaché case and directs you to just pick up everyone's currently completed paperwork and stick it in there.
Alexei does so. He goes around. He does ask a few of them, do they know where everyone else is? Attendance has never been this low before. I assume attendance has never been this low before. Attendance has never been this low before. Has something happened? Is everyone okay? Is Vanya there?
Vanya is not there, no.
Okay, that'll be his specific, like, have you seen Vanya? Just because at least he and Vanya are on speaking terms, so...
A couple of them are just too buried in their work to even kind of take a notice of you, but one of them does kind of pause in their writing for just a couple of seconds and looks up at you with slightly sunken eyes. I haven't seen Vanya in the last... since the festival. He seemed to be talking about that girl he was dancing with for a little while, but then I meant to meet him at the bar a couple of nights ago and he didn't show up, and I went by his apartment and there were police there.
Excuse me?
I don't know what was going on. The door was knocked open. I just walked right by. I didn't want to get involved, but I think he's in trouble. And to be honest, a lot of the other people who aren't in today, they were also at the party and they were also acting. I don't know. Listen, if you know what is good for you, just keep your head down. Don't make any trouble.
How do you think I've survived this job so long? He says, attempting at comedy, but probably not succeeding all that well.
I don't know. Excellent shorthand.
Yeah, they were very good.
Burying your nose directly up Sobolov's ass?
How dare you make an accurate assessment of what I did this morning? Listen, I was late, but at least I showed up. Okay. Thank you regardless. Give me your completed paperwork. I have to do the courier's job.
Yes, here. He just hands you a stapled together sheaf of paperwork. And yeah, without the last of it, the attaché case weighs a fucking lot with all this paperwork in there, but yeah, it all fits.
Alright.
Sokolov directs you. He goes, right, you're going to need to take this to central processing. It's within the restricted zone. You will have clearance. Hang on a second. He pats himself down. I have the fucking card here somewhere. Shit, where did I put it? Ah, here we go. And hands you a somewhat battered-looking card, which basically just has 2 official-looking stamps on it, and then just the bearer of this card may have supervised access to the receiving desk of Site B.
Oh, okay.
It's like, but between the hours of X and Y, like it's a narrow window. You can come in there and drop something off.
Okay.
And please, I cannot stress highly enough. Make sure it arrives on time.
Of course. I will do everything we need. And that's Vidania. And with that, he heads out. And he's just kind of staring in disbelief at how this Site B pass has just dropped into his lap.
And are you just heading off out in that direction?
If I only have a narrow window to get through, I guess so, because I'm not going to waste time checking out this fire that is just kind of happening.
I was going to say, because when you do step outside, you can see there are now 2 plumes of kind of oily black smoke coming from different areas of the city.
Sorry, I just saw what Steve dropped. That seems odd. Is it in the same direction as what was I going to say? As I can go? Can I like scope it out on the way over?
I would say actually give me a roll with real, and let's have a look here. You have Appalachic, don't you?
As a like
bureaucracy. Yeah, I was going to say add bureaucracy to this. Like, just roll roll a 0. Yeah, you are kind of just slightly distracted by this, and just walking along the street, just kind of heading in the rough direction of where you're heading, and just for a moment you are not looking ahead of you, and then something hits you. You spin upside down through the air.
Oh.
And hit the pavement hard. Behind you, you hear a loud metallic crash.
Have I been hit by a car?
Take the medium consequence, hit and run. As you lie, just stunned for a moment on the sidewalk, as a staff car has just slammed into the building behind you. And even from where you're lying, you can see someone has been fucking sandwiched between the car and the solid stone wall. There is just blood draining across the pavement towards you.
Oh.
On the plus side, take your point of experience.
Yeah.
Yay! Got hit by a fucking car.
Yeah. I'm almost ready to have another skill. Maybe I'll just have both.
On the plus side, the attaché case is still intact, and
That's
if
good,
anything, might have actually stopped your ribs from shattering upon impact with this Soviet-era solid steel frame car.
Jesus Christ! Well, Alexei counts as lucky stars.
Of which you are seeing quite a few right now.
Yeah. He does his best to stagger back onto his feet.
You kind of...
He's going to make his way over to the person who has been sandwiched between the what do you call it? Between the car and the wall. Are they still alive?
You come closer towards the car, and you can hear there's kind of a clattering coming from inside the car near the driver's seat, but you are, at this moment, just looking at the person who was hit by the car. They are in full dress uniform, braids on their shoulders, and a belt of medals across their chest. You don't even need to make a roll. You recognize this guy. He addressed you when he was bringing in this new apparatchik group. He is one of the senior members of the committee in this city.
Oh no.
And there is just blood gushing from his mouth as he looks at you with confusion and then just slumps over the hood of the car.
Alex. Ooh, but we're out in public.
Just as this is happening, the driver's side door of the car opens and a figure just stumbles out, looking around dazedly, blood streaming from their scalp. Just for a moment, they kind of look over the bonnet at the body, look up at you, you look into their eyes, and I'm going to call it there for a session. So,
Sorry, that haggard cough you just had was worrying Sam.
my job is talking to people in an air-conditioned environment all day. It fucks my throat something awful.
Ah.
Oh, I'm severely tempted to put some whiskey in this Pepsi, but I know I shouldn't, otherwise I will just make a mess of myself. Ah, fucking, it's right here. Ugh.
Nice. Ooh, that's a cork ball. That's a fancy whiskey.
Oh yeah, this is like, what was it, Hague Club. I don't buy whiskey often, but when I do, I go for the good shit, and then mix it with Pepsi Max because I'm a fucking heathen.
That's okay.
To be fair, I
Drinking Nestea and whiskey last night.
I did once commit absolute fucking, like, high treason when I was offered some white wine with my meal, and I was having a nice Diet Coke at the time. Not a fan of white wine. I had a little sip, and went, that's okay, and then poured my Diet Coke into the glass.
I had a friend who would take red box wines and mix them with cream soda.
See, that could kind of work. Like a slightly more adult fruit punch. But anyway, oh god. The demons, they're trying to escape.
Son?
It begins, motherfuckers!
Hell yeah.
Sorry, we started a little late, and I really underslept last night, so I wanted a
That's
slightly
okay.
shorter one, if that's okay.
No. It's
Hopefully tonight was good.
yeah.
Yeah, I got to stomp in someone's knee. It was
I,
You got to Jack Bauer someone. Huh?
Hell yeah.
Well, excuse me. Out of the RPGs I'm currently a part of, this one is my favorite.
Oh, thank you.
Hell yeah.
I appreciate that, man. No, I'm glad it's fun for everyone. And Steve is being Detective Gregor as much fun as you hoped it would be.
Oh yeah, I'm just trying to plan like 3 steps ahead.
The noodly private eye.
Oh yeah.
The elongated man.
Don't forget to add to the conspiracy board if you have anything to add there.
Oh yeah, I will be fleshing this out with extra stuff.
Perfect.
Hell yeah, dude.
At some point, if everything goes according to plan, one of you is going to need to put a lot of trust in me.
And in that case,
boy.
with you, Steve, if it's me, I will unequivocally say I guess.
Magnificent. I love it.
Hell yeah, dude.
All right. I will wish you guys a very good night, and hopefully we will pick this up next week.
All right. Good night,
Fuck
Seb.
yeah.
See you around.
I will stop trying to merge you all with explosions and car crashes. I swear.
Find other ways of murdering us by supernatural means.
Hey, look! I tried to have some emotional moments there. Like Kramer was like, "Yeah, I don't really care that your sister's dead."
I wasn't trying to come off like that.
I'm.
To be fair, my delivery was very.
I mean, it was all in the delivery of just like, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, pal. Your sister's dead. Can we go now?
Just well.